Hi, I'm Jesus. Oh, look at me. I was just a baby then, just a tiny, helpless baby. Mum did a great job bringing me into the world. Bethlehem was absolutely packed, and the only place she could find was a stable. Well, she didn't have much of a choice. I was ready to come. I'd actually been ready for a while. Years, in fact. Now, that might not make much sense, but it will. There's me as a toddler. Some people came to visit me about that age. They'd come from a really long way away. A star showed them where to find me. Mum kept hold of all the gifts they brought. She treasured everything from those early years, and not just because I was her firstborn. I would need one of those gifts in about 30 years' time. But we're not there yet. That's Dad. Well, my stepdad, I guess. He was a carpenter, and he taught me all he knew. I loved getting my hands dirty and helping the family out. He was a good man, and he loved my mom a lot. He loved God more, and he proved that when he married a woman who was pregnant but not with his baby. He kept his promise to her. I worked with him for a while, and we were well known in our town, but I had more important work to do. So I left. This is me in the desert. I spent 40 days here before I started my new job, and I had absolutely nothing to eat. That was a really tough time. The serpent, the one who tempted Eve, tried to tempt me too. He offered me the world to give my allegiance to him, but I already had the world and I needed to save it. So I sent him away. Those are some of my friends. I found them while they were just doing their everyday jobs. Found probably isn't the best word. I went looking for them. I had 12 really close friends. Peter, James, John, Andrew, Bartholomew, another James, Judas, Jude, Matthew, Philip, Simon, and Thomas. I had really important work for them too. I had other friends as well, like Mary, Joanna, and Susanna. That was a bit of a shock for people, actually, that I treated women with the love and dignity they deserved. Their society looked down on them, but I couldn't do that. How could I? I made all of humanity to reflect God's goodness. Yes, I made them. That might not make sense either at the moment. We'll get there. This is someone who really needed help. A lot of people came to me with all their sickness and troubles. I couldn't fix them with my carpentry skills, but my real Father gave me the tools I needed to fix them. I was surrounded by crowds who wanted more miracles, more food, more teaching. They wanted to be healed and to understand more about themselves and God. This was my last meal with my friends. That was a sad day. I knew what was coming, and I knew one of my closest friends was about to hand me over to be killed, just so he could make a bit of money. His guilt plagued him afterwards, but it was too late. People who love me now still have this meal together as a way of remembering me. The bread broken like me, the wine poured out like my blood was about to be. This is a symbol for the execution method I endured, a cross. It was an unjust death in many ways. I was an innocent man, as innocent as you can get. But true justice had its final word that day, and my job was finally complete. I gave my life for you. One of the gifts I was given as a toddler found its purpose. They embalmed me with myrrh and laid me to rest in a secure tomb. But I had broken the power of death, and death couldn't hold me. Just a few days later, and I took my first breath as a new man. I walked out of the grave, never to return. That's you. That's you walking out of the grave if you believe everything I've told you. And finally, this is me before I created the world. And this is me after the world has ended. I am eternal. I am life. I am God. I am who I am.